So I can start, for example, just because I have some questions about my project. And but can I demonstrate my screen in this case? Oh, yes, yes, I can. So the first, I just want to show what I have made in my Blender scene. Do you see this? No? Not yet. Mm-hmm. So I was very exciting. It was my first time when I was working in Blender. So and the name of my project is Daryagrad. It's like my name, and it's just Lenin, and it's like was like Leningrad, but it's Daryagrad. And also the name of my project is Dasha's Field of Experiments, like Russian field of experiments. Just like for Lenin, it was Russia, like field of experiments. For me, this space is the field of my Blender experiments. And I also made an animation, my first animation with this water. Yes. And of course, now I haven't it here. And I also, do you see now my screen in the internet? Yes, and this is the screen. And I have no meatballs, but how it's these balls. I don't remember the name of. In Blender, there is such a balls here, and I don't know why, but I don't have it now in my scene in web browser, and I don't know why. Do you understand what I said? Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay, so and another problem that I have no that I have no animation here, and I also have no plane where I made my animation. I mean that there is no plane of my water, and yes, it's also not exported. Mm, yes. It was a plane, and then it was modificator waves, and yes, not something special more, and just materials. So, mm, object option here where near object. Okay. I never. Sorry, I have my. Okay, one moment. Object like animation. Okay, here and. Okay. Mm-hmm. Visual King and yes. Um, mhm, 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 mhm. So, okay, thank you very much. I think I will try to do all these things. Mhm. Thank you. I just want to make more artifacts, and I like to do this like my private space. I mean, like I was living in Russia, and there's Leningrad, just like my Soviet culture, something like this. And now I live in Munich, and it's the most popular. It's Frauenkirche in Munich, and I want to do more artifact about my life, just like my personal space, where my different identity of myself now I'm here. It's like just a concept. I mean, mhm. Thank you.
I can go. This is Kevin. Okay, I'll share my screen now. Can you see my screen? So basically, I have made a very simple model like this, and I also make the animation for the like the ball on the behind the gallery. This represents the sound and the motion of the sound. However, when I just launched the gallery in the Bleach, I think the motion does not work as good as what I did here in the Blender. Yeah, it just flashed like this and suddenly disappear. Yeah, and also and also about the jump, I just used the first template and I didn't change anything. But when I imported my thing like this, uh, the go up process worked very well, but the fall process is very slow. It's much slower as expected, I think. I don't know why. Maybe I need to compress my model again. Is that right? Yeah, here works fine, but when I was uh, on the lower space, like in the middle part of my gallery, the go down space, the fall down speed is much slower. I don't know why. Okay, yeah. Okay. And one question that is about my future plan about this project is that is I plan to import my other projects like the with a link into these kind of stuff here. And what should I do if I just approach all these sculptures and I can get a link to my other project? So how should I do this, or what is kind of things that I can do after this review? Okay, all right. I think that's all my question for now. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for the workshop. Yeah, I really enjoy learning with all the new things and learning with you guys.
Yes, so maybe I will share my progress so far. I'm trying to find that screen share button. Hmm. Screen one, oh, it's so obvious. Yeah. Um, so um, I was mainly experimenting with Rhino and Grasshopper, and I haven't used the Blender to add some shading to it. And so it kind of looked like a salami kind of texture and does not look pretty. Not yet. there are some privacy things about Zoom. I need to reload it. There, can you see it now? Yeah, so I just made it in Rhino and was about to import it to Blender. So just some columns. I was thinking maybe the pattern on when I made it, and just add some nonlinearity to the columns. But I have a question. That is, when I import it to Blender, it seems that can you see my sharing the Blender? Yeah. Yeah, so I think maybe when I made it in Rhino, I've set the magnitude a bit too large. So when I try to reduce the size, in Blender, it just fades into the background and I can't see anything. Ah, yes, now I see it. Uh, the view option. Items. Yeah, item. Yes. To the left. Oh, yeah, it's a tool. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes. Now it's much better. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I plugged it in. So if I maybe later import it to the web version, and perhaps there will be a problem. Is that the size may be too large? Is there a way I can scale it down? Yeah. Yeah. The orange square, this one. Yeah, I think it's done. Yeah, similar to me. Yes. So I will maybe select a particular space to put it into the web version, because it's really challenging to for my computer to execute the process, because at the beginning set the parameters a bit too much. Yeah, great. Oh, thanks. I will try that out. Could you maybe repeat the name of the modifier you just mentioned? Thank you. So I guess that's it for my questions now, because I'm still at Blender, and I really got to thank you guys for such wonderful workshop. I really learned a lot.
Can I share mine? Okay. Let me see. Can you see my screen? Okay, so I started my geometry on Grasshopper, and I was messing around with those field points that you taught us on the first day, I guess. And then I did kind of it would be like a social labyrinth of some kind. I don't know. Maybe we could add some art exhibitions inside of it, but it's supposed to be like really tall, like walls or metal sheets, you know, bended in this shape. And then at the center, you would have like some expositions or um, I don't know, a meeting place or I don't know, some band or something. But when you look from outside of it, you can see like the inside. So you are curious to search for the inside part of the project. So I did this this texture here on Blender, but I don't know because when I export it and here when I imported to the website, it was all white. So maybe I didn't do something right on applying the texture. I followed some tutorials about generating, because this was not based on a picture, you know. So I found out this texture coordinate generated that you could use for like this type of texture that doesn't follow like a UV wrapping specifically, but I don't know if it's working or not. And I couldn't find the option to bake the texture, so maybe that's why it didn't work. Okay. How can I? Oh yeah. Okay. The UV editing. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of things. It's okay. Here. Mm-hmm. 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 Here. Okay. Here on the bottom. So it's Shift A, right? Texture. Okay. Mm-hmm. Here. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, it's probably going to take a while to bake the texture, like a lot of time. But when it finishes, I will search for the link of the Blender workshop and then try to do the next step. Mhm. And one more question: what we'll need to share with you, the GLTF model or just our glitch link? Oh yeah, I will try to come up with a name and a description and everything. Thank you a lot. It was a very productive week. So thank yeah, thank both of you. Oh, okay. Uh, Here? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Is it better now? About this. Um, Let me share my screen. Um, my idea was inspired by Rodman's concept of polarized landscapes, and this idea is about using theoretical geography for the harmonious coexistence of man and biosphere. Um, like large cities and wild nature are regarded as equivalent poles of environment. And I tried to show here the this coexistence of some human-made things and this strange structure, um, polarized biosphere. Um, for now, it looks a bit weird because my model was quite heavy in Grasshopper. I made like several experiments with this one and some patterns to represent this Rodman's image of landscapes. I love this one because it's a bit speculative, but still I think it have like planetary scale, so I tried to implement this. But I also had problem with textures, because here I don't have all these options to modify, to bake it, but I don't know, I have had some textures also. Yeah, I had textures here, but I wasn't able to bake them because I failed on the step with UV editing, because I have just this one here. So yeah, this is my problem. So I think maybe I need to reinstall my blending. No? But I have the same problem with landscape. This is not as complex. Yeah, thank you. I think it's quite heavy because I reduced the mesh in Rhino and then applied modifiers in Blender, and it still was very heavy. Yeah, so I think this is the main problem. Thank you very much for advices. It's very dense and interesting lecture. It was.
Hello. Yeah, can I go next? Excuse me, I'm going to share my screen. Yeah, can you see my screen? Oh, yes. So basically, my project is still just heavy on just using Rhino and Grasshopper because honestly, I'm still quite intimidated by the Blender interface. So I haven't done very much in Blender. But the idea is to make, actually this is based on a question of scale and orientation in this maybe virtual world. So I try to not refer to our world that much. So I don't really use a kind of ground as landscape. I use just these cubes and I generate some random points to be referred as lines and then to be referred using the attractor function in Grasshopper, just measure the distance and so on. So it kind of creates this kind of contour of that is defined by the box size. And also I think using the repetition of cubes, the box is maybe not that heavy on the computer because it is just simple, just simple cubes, but apparently it runs kind of slow in the JavaScript still. I use some Blender just to apply some color and transparency, but I don't think the transparency works that obviously in the glitch. Let me show you. Oh yeah, so you can experience the space kind of like this. So yeah, my idea is actually to follow your purple color as a background and use it as a reference for maybe what the space would like. And this yellow lines, lines or shape, I would say maybe kind of like an energy or something that cuts through the space, which is the boxes. So the closer to the yellow lines, the smaller the boxes, and the heavier purple, the darker purple shade near to the yellow lines is actually kind of maybe like the echo or like the compressed space around the energy. So it the space is more defined where the energy is there. So I actually want to make this part this light purple parts transparent, and I set it in Blender using the material, and I adjust the alpha value. It was I set it to 0.4, but apparently in the glitch, I don't think it's transparent yet. Oh, so maybe I should use two different objects to put the models into the Three.js. Are you saying that maybe I separate the yellow one and the purple one? Oh, I see. And would you suggest to use the same GLB format? Or I think I read somewhere that using the OBJ file is more simple. Or should we use GLB? Oh, I see. And if I were to add another object, can I just copy this function where you load the model, or should I use some other way? I mean, yeah. Oh, I see. So does the name, like, for example, the one you use shards 001, does that correspond to the name I used here on Blender? Oh, okay. So if I use that method, I don't need to make it to 3D models, right? To 3D models, I can just one, but kind of read the layers inside that one 3D model. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. And then can I maybe use that model, or that part of the model, that layer of model, and use it as kind of like an object in JavaScript, like the way you make your particle, maybe change the position or such things, but outside that load function, can we still use that, or it is restricted just to use in this load function? Yeah. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. So for example, maybe I can use, if I want to make some variation in animation, maybe variation in the transparency, I could use similar code to this, but maybe put it in the down here in the, I'm sorry, update particles. A function that keeps running, right? Oh, I see. Well, yeah, I think that's my progress. It's still plain right now. I'm not sure if if I dare to add another maybe animation or such things. I'm still quite scared with Blender, but maybe I'll try to add some more variation or animation in the Blender if I have the time. Yeah, thank you very much. And thank you for the workshop, by the way. This is very nice. uh, kind of like bubblegum, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much.
I can go next. So I have some progress, and I changed a little bit to the graphic of the interface. And this is the scene right now. I was planning to create like a virtual, maybe a high sky scene with all the cloudy, poofy, fluffy stuff like floating in the air, and they have different elements like floating and maybe dropping down to the ground. And I do have a question like of the animation. So like when I put my geometry in the viewer, it shows like this, but it just doesn't play the animation automatically. Like in here, I just click on all the play all actions and it just plays. But like when I first drag the model into the viewer, it only has one action. And let me the tab here. And in the JS, I think I uncomment the last part of the animates. I'm wondering if that's the all scripts I need to call the animate function. Yeah, I was also trying to bake all the animation into one action. I don't know if I did it in the correct way. I just select all this and I have a new action. I don't know if that's the correct way to bake all the action into one. I'm going to go to the load. Load. One. Section 2.5. So this represents like they can play two animations. Am I correct? Oh, so does this mean it can play two different animations, like two actions baked in the render? Um, mm, okay. Yeah, I will try later. And I have another question about the UV. Like, like this is the baked texture map, but it just didn't look correct because it only covers like one portion of this metal ball meshes, and it just didn't. I don't know if that's because the geometry is too complex, so it doesn't unwrap correctly. It only, so if I select all of them, like it just, Okay. Okay, I will try later. Yeah. So that is my current progress. I just use some very simple geometries to test the workflow. That's it. Can you hear me? I would like to share my screen. A moment. I would like to show my Blender scene. The main idea is to create a kind of tree house. I would like to evoke a sense of security in the observer. I have animation here. It's too fast. And I would like to show what it in GLTF viewer. And my object is very large here, but I scale it. I would like to create some cozy space here, but now it's too large.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Good. Well, just a second. Well, how can I share my screen? Oh, yeah. Can you see? Good. Well, actually, just a second. And about idea, I thought that I can make a virtual cemetery. It's like because you know there's a problem with cemeteries because they require large spaces, and I think what if we bring the cemeteries in virtual reality? So and we appear in closed space and we go to open space and it looks like this, and that's in progress. I'm not finished with space, but that's it. Well, actually, I don't have any question because yeah, and I just show. And what do you think about my idea? I think it's a little bit scary. It sounds scary, but I don't know. Okay, and thanks for this workshop. It's really great. Yeah, I just thought that it's open space and we can, like in H probably, the filling of the open space when we appear in closed space and go to, well, okay. Oh, thanks. Okay. Okay, thanks. Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you, guys. It was amazing.